I dropped the F-bomb real quick. Just went live. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, tear him up, brother. Oh, man, they've been at it. Okay, we've got Roger, Toby. Wow. And y'all were just talking about a SIG or something like that right now, too. Wow, okay. 620. Okay, Curtis, Timothy, Ray. What's up, Amy? How you doing? Let's see. I'm trying to catch up with all y'all. Been at it for a while. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I wasn't live, but y'all were able to communicate, which is pretty cool. That is awesome. So, no, I was bending wire, guys, and then I was talking to Damon. He was in my shop right here. I was catching up with him because he's getting ready to head out for a tuna trip, and then Jeff came in, so Jeff's in the house for a little bit. For her job from 12, she went 7. Awesome. Wow. Okay. Damn it. Let's see, right from my local partner. Yes. Y'all been at it, man. I'm trying to read real quick, kind of through there. So, all right. Oh, hold on. What am I doing? Hold on. Okay. All right. Well, it's about time. Look at this. I'm pretty late. Hey, I'm making a fashionable entrance, gents. What's up, fish heads? Billy Russell, how you doing? All right. Yes. Earlier, I went to the kids' school to go talk with them because I was gonna sit in with one of their fishing meetings to kind of talk about fishing. However, we found out a lot of the kids were still at like a baseball game, and a lot of kids were out doing their sports. So we went ahead and rescheduled it. I came back to the shop and just missed you, man. Sorry. So, but oh man, it has been a day. Tired. I'm freaking tired. But I gotta send a link out real quick. Let me make sure that she's ready. Hold on, real quick. Verifying something real quick, guys. Good.
Just sore. See, all I heard was, I need to get a bigger knife. I was like, oh shit. I didn't feel the cut, but it just she grabbed the membrane, the whatever you want to call it, and I felt like something she was cutting. I was like, are you cutting me? She goes, no, I'm just pulling out the membrane. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that, you know how they get the stacks on?
All right, let's see.
I had 6 plus buckets.
Dang it. Let's see. Hold on real quick. Let me. Hold on. I'm trying to send it. I've sent the invite out. I'm is ready, but it is. What's up,
Hey,
Jay?
hey,
How you doing?
what's cracking? What's cracking?
Oh
I feel like I'm
man,
looking down. Are we live yet? Are we
we
live?
are live. We are live.
See
So,
my screen. I feel like I'm
oh
like
man,
looking down. It's
they
like I gotta get a different angle. I'm like, this is not good.
there there you
These are why I should have done it there with you. I shouldn't be left unsupervised.
That's all of us.
Everybody's sharing the video. I'm like, dadgummit.
There you go. There you go. So, uh, a lot of these guys already know you from the last time you were live with us. Oh, no, real quick. We good?
You can go get yourself some more food. It's okay.
Well, I have to get online, figure out the hours and stuff like that. Soon, first thing in the morning, or you need it tonight? Because, well, either way you can get it.
That's good. That's only where I can put my insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Yeah, it should be ready first thing in the morning. So
I'll give you a call around.
that'll work. Yeah. All right, later, boss. Good seeing you, man. So, all right. So today, I missed that.
We have a different rack here now.
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, guys. So today is Storytelling Thursday. We are starting a new chapter of I Got Your Six. And you saw it a few weeks ago. We kind of did a little introduction of a bunch of challenge coins that Ms. Jen Nolan and her husband and family had found when they were moving out of a house. So it was a huge blessing and opportunity that us as vets saw I saw a light. Like I saw a way to um, just raise some awareness of the guys that have gone above and beyond. You know, when you join the military, you sign the dotted line on an open-ended check, and that's the best way I can describe it. And so, because of that, you know, some of them that check was cashed, and for the rest of us that made it back, I mean, even though we made it back, now we didn't always make it back. So
didn't make it back with all of us.
Right. So I feel it is our duty to share, you know what I mean? To share the knowledge, to truly give these guys a lot more respect of what was going on, what they went through and stuff like that. I don't know a lot of the stories, but I know Jen has got, she's done some research on the guys that we're going to bring up today, or she's got today. I wasn't able to get over there, and she was busy over there, so she's at her shop, and I'm over here at Hard Life. So,
and I know, and I can actually, I didn't think about it, but I can stand up and I can show your lovely wall for those that are on this side of the water. They come
there
see.
you go. Yes,
we got a little piece of that in the shop here. So I can turn this thing around real quick. So if you guys are on our side of the tracks, got a huge selection of our buddies.
Yep. Those are the big rig leaders right there. Got a huge wall. She's got kayaks, and they do rentals as well.
Yep.
Definitely going to have to get with. Oh man, I went brain dead right now.
Jen and John.
No, the lures. Well, yeah, of course. With the lures, the hooks.
The freaking Texas Rattler.
Yes, the Texas Rattler. God, I'm so sorry, guys.
Bro, did you see this? He just got the patent on this one. Listen, and it's got cork in it, so it's a floating, weedless, rattling jig head.
What?
Dude, it's bananas.
So, wow. I just sent you some pics of a buddy, vet PTSD. I took to Florida, got on his first shark, 9 foot plus dusky. One fish was a life changer for him. Literally awesome.
That's good stuff.
All right, so let me check the email real quick. Do you have the first name you'd like to?
I do. So David McNerney, and if you guys find me on Facebook, it's just Jen Nolan Fishing. There's a video it's this little 6-minute video, and it's actually Mr. McNerney like sharing his story of his time when he was in service. He's telling the story of what happened at the time that he earned his highest distinction, and it's even got some footage. Playing in there of just old real time footage from back in that time frame. And so but I'll tell you guys a little bit of his history, and it's so funny because when I was going through this box, it just happened to be that one of the first ones I grabbed out, I recognized the name because I'd lived in Crosby for 20 years. And, he was part of our school district there. He had gotten our ROTC program going there. It's the time that I worked with the school district. So it's kind of cool that his coin was one of the first coins that we found. And ironically, when I was very little, like a baby, until I was, 9 years old, we lived in Boston, Massachusetts. And David McNerney was actually born in Massachusetts. And it's super crazy how all these little pieces tie together. But he served back in Vietnam, and that's at the time that he earned his highest distinction. And I will just read a little bit about Mr. McNerney real quick. And for if you click that video, it's a 6-minute video, and he's talking about the time he was in the Vietnam War, and also he spent time in the Korean War as well. And his whole family, so he never had children. He married a lady. They were married for a lifetime, and she passed away just a few years before him, 7 years before him. Both passed away in the 2000s, and they never had children. But there is a, we talked about this the last time we were together. There is a VFW hall there named after him in his honor in Crosby, where he started that ROTC program. But I'll just read a little bit about him. He was a U.S. Army soldier, a recipient of the U.S. military highest decoration, the Medal of Honor, for his actions in Vietnam War. And he tells that story in that video clip. If you go onto my wall, just Jen Nolan, it's a public wall. You don't have to be my friend or anything. You can just follow me and click it and watch that video. Native of Massachusetts, moved to Houston, Texas. It's so crazy, the path that I followed after someone who was this. We don't talk about these stories, right? When I was traveling from there to here, when I got out of the military, I moved to the Hitchcock area in Texas. But never, do you think that you pass in the same trail that someone who served at this highest level of honor. And it's pretty touching to my heart, and it makes it that much more important that we share the story. But he was recognized with the Medal of Honor as first sergeant from Vietnam War. He was recognized March 22nd, 1967. This is when his company came under attack. He was with Northern Vietnamese forces, and the Vietnamese forces that he was showing in the video, they were all literally in bushes. So it was a true ambush where they were just lying in the ground with bushes on them. And that's when they came under attack. And he lost a lot of his crew during that time. But he tells that story with a lot of heart, and it's a beautiful thing to hear from him. I really think it's cool, as I've researched this, is being able to, instead of just reading the story, but hearing them tell the story. So, as you guys follow along with us, I encourage you, don't just read articles about them. Find some videos where they're telling their own story, because they're out there. The power of social media. But he passed away in 2008, and we're really excited to take that coin. His twins are actually in attendance at Crosby High School. We're trying to work it out where they'll be able to go and take that coin together, and where they're still connected to the school. It makes it all really, really awesome. And just seeing how God, whether you believe in him or not, I do, and he's always stitching my life together. And it helps me sometimes to know I'm on the right path with things. So I don't know if you have any feedback on that before I go to the next one. And because everyone we're talking about has not passed away. Some of these guys are still living.
That is, wow, that's amazing. And you're right, man. God puts things in or people in our path that it's a blessing. It really is. I've met people, and this is where, like, a lot of the train of thought that I've got with the shop and who I want to help and stuff like that. And normally I don't care who you are, what level of fishing you're at. If you ask a question, I'm gonna share my knowledge.
Yeah.
And because of that, that was the same thing while I was in the military. Like, the guys younger than me, I was training them to take my position. And the reason you had to do that was because real life scenario, you're in a wartime situation, and you get knocked out. Well, if nobody knows how to do your job, then everything stops right there. So you're actually you're a stepping stone
Liability.
for the younger generation.
Well, they're liability if they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. That was exactly the word I was looking for. We were a liability. and so we always trained our junior troops to take our positions and stuff. So we were all about learning the levels above us. And, and now that we're out, hearing these stories of the guys that have gone through this, and, some of them are here and some of them aren't. And I get goosebumps just talking, and hearing these stories of what these guys, and there's gals too, that have
Yep.
gone above and beyond, for their brother in arms, and it's a bond that if you're not in the military or never have been or never had family in there, you'll never really understand. So,
No, and I think we look for that post-military, and I often talk about the first time I got involved with the fishing and outdoor industry was with a veterans organization, and for at the time I've been out of the military for over 25 years, and I felt like I didn't know I was longing for that feeling until I got with that group of guys, and I was like, okay, this is what I remember it feeling like back then. So it's even unspoken, and it's even, it doesn't matter if you were in time of war or not, if you received the highest degree of honor, or if you were just ready, to take whatever it was that was coming next to you. We all share that common bond. And I know for me, when I got back around that group, that camaraderie is something you can't explain. If it's a different type of knowing, a different type of feeling. Nobody's even talking about things. You just feel that connection, and it is really, really, really neat for some of these guys that are still living, that are out there sharing their story, what they went through in their time. And it's in the military, in the wars that these guys were in the time that they served is very, very different than what our military is now. And I think that's why it's even more so important that we share their stories of what they experienced at that time. I think that our current generation needs to know what these guys did.
yes. And supporting the freedoms that a lot of these guys are taking advantage of today. That it is,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And this
So,
is this next gentleman
hold on,
that
hold
we're
on,
going
hold on,
to
hold on, real
go
quick.
ahead.
All right, guys. So if y'all are just chiming in, what we're doing is we are going through the challenge coins that Jen and her husband had found when they were moving from one house to the next. These were an unexpected path in their life, and when I went over there to start pitching to them to start selling our fishing tackle, they had a few out on the desk because they were getting ready to start doing something with it. And me being a vet, man, it just, I went from making a sale to like, okay, my focus was these challenge coins on her desk, and I mean it stopped me in my tracks, and
And I'm like,
it's
do you want to go live with me, my new friend? And you're like, I already go live. Do you want to go live with me?
yeah. So that's what we're doing tonight, guys. We are sharing some stories of these coins that are there. These are actual military servicemen and women that have done some remarkable, remarkable things in their life, and or here with us and or not here with us. We're going to share some of their stories with the coins. So she's already shared the first story, and we're
Yep.
about to start the second one. So
Yep. And I've got some really great stories tonight to share with you guys. And the next one is, and this says here on this coin is Captain, but he's introduced in his story, his most current, because I tried to find their most current media, and he's introduced here as Lieutenant Colonel in the U.S. Army. So it appears that he is still active, and it looks like he is one of only 4 active duty military who have received the Medal of Honor. Only 4 still active duty have received that. So, I mean, yeah, and I'm going to tell his story here in a minute. But this is his coin when he was a captain. And on the back of it, it says Congressional Medal of Honor Society. So this was the coin that was created in honor of him receiving that in Afghanistan. And it shows the date of September 8th, 2000, when he received this. So I just realized I'm not
wow.
in front of the screen. Yeah, but it's a beautiful coin, and Will, you've got a great photo of these, or you got a great shot of these when they were in the shop. But we'll go ahead and get them up and get some shots of them after we get off here too, so everybody can take a look at those. But he is only 45 years old right now.
That's 1 year older than me.
Yeah. So, when I think of that, and I'll be 50 next year, so he's definitely within my age range. My husband is 45. So when I think about that, even I serving in the early 90s, I went in right at the end of Desert Storm. I don't have the stories that this man has, right? And so, anyway, I'll go on into this. He was awarded the Medal of Honor in a ceremony in 2013 for his act in the War on Terror, and this was the sixth living recipient on the War of Terror, and only 4 of those Medal of Honor recipients still in active duty. He was born in Seattle, went to college up there, and he received a degree in 2001, and that's when he went into the military, went straight into officer candidate school. So some of these guys serve as, they come into the enlisted rank and then they become an officer. But this guy went straight to college and went straight in as an officer. And as soon as he concluded basic training, he went straight to Ranger School and Airborne School. So like he was not playing around. He was like, I'm here to do some stuff. And he did do that. He was deployed 3 times on the War on Terror, once to Iraq, twice to Afghanistan. And when he was in Afghanistan, that's when he was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. He's been awarded the Bronze Star Medal as well, with 2 oak clusters and the Purple Heart for being wounded in action. And like I said, I know, I
Bro,
hope I get to meet him.
how does he even walk without falling over with all those medals? Like,
I know,
wow.
he's chest heavy.
The original
He was
badass
wounded
right
in
here. I mean,
action.
should we say it? Like, I'm saying it.
This is a badass right here.
That's
Yeah, you look up badass in the dictionary, and he's probably going to be right there with Marcus Luttrell and those fellows over there. So
yeah, no doubt, no
yeah,
doubt. Wow.
Swinson, he left the Army in 2011, and at that time he lived in Seattle still, and that's where he was when he received the Medal of Honor. And he's been without employment since he left the Army in 2013. He spent those 2 years, unemployed, and thought, this is not going to work for me. So he requested to return to active duty, and he was accepted back as a plans officer in the I Corps headquarters. Later in 2014, he was named Alumnus of the Year by Seattle University, and in 2015, along with Representative Hunter and others, he advocated on behalf of Major Goldstein, who had a Silver Star revoked for an investigation. And so he he kind of stood up for him and that to protect what that guy had earned in his time of service. And so, he even though sometimes in life we see someone going through something and they're being wronged. Sometimes we don't want the shine on us, right? He wasn't even worried about that. He's like, I don't care what I've earned and what status I'm at. I'm going to go up here and stand up for what is right. So that was another
Right.
really cool and honorable thing that I had found when I was going through his history, and a little bit about what was going on with his time of earning the Medal of Honor. And I haven't watched anything with a video with his, like I did with David McNerney, so I haven't heard it from his own words. But there's a really great write-up here, and it tells a little bit, and I'll read that to you. On September 8th, 2009, and now remember, this is dated on his coin as well. This is the date that the actual action happened, where he went through whatever it is that he went through in the time of war that put him in a position to receive this honor. He was part of an operation to connect the Afghan government and native elders in the Ganj Valley in eastern Kunar province in Afghanistan near the Pakistan border. According to the Army's detailed narrative, the coalition forces 106-man column, which is a nice size of protection there. They entered the valley, but they were ambushed at 6 a.m. and there were about 60 insurgent fighters that came in against them. So they weren't outnumbered, but they were ambushed, attacked. And during this time, within an hour, there was a difficulty for communication. The front column had kind of fallen apart, and most of their U.S. servicemen were lost. So at this time, they're now dwindling in numbers. And Captain Swinson, who was originally positioned in the forward part, he had now called for air support. And while he was waiting for that air support, they were surrounded again by enemy fighters advanced within 50 meters of them. And Swinson responded to, it was the Taliban, if you guys are wondering. Swinson responded to their demands for surrender by throwing a hand grenade in absolute defiance, and that rallied his comrades to repel, and they were able to get in on the enemy advance. Swanson and his comrades moved his sergeant and the other wounded to the helicopter for medical evacuation before returning to the enemy's kill zone for at least 2 more trips of with an unarmored vehicle to try to evacuate more of their wounded. Returning even more deeply through the kill zone, he continued to head in there looking for 4 more U.S. servicemen. Swinson's party first rescued and recovered several of the Afghan National Security Force wounded and dead. And finally, Swinson and a small contingent were able to recover those 4 fallen U.S. service members who had been discovered on a search and rescue earlier that day. There was about 6 to 7 hour firefight, 15 coalition dead, and they're 4 of their servicemen. Also, Swinson's sergeant died of his wounds on the return back, but his actions of heroism to go back and continue to go back into that kill zone to just keep getting as many of those guys out of there as he could, they believed definitely contributed to saving the more than a dozen of the Afghanistan lives. So it's not even like, he was just going in there saving his own people. He was just going back in there and getting the innocent. And so on top of being a hero to our own, he also was able to save a dozen Afghan lives in that same time frame. He received the Medal of Honor from Barack Obama in October of 2013. He was nominated for his actions as an embedded trainer in the Battle of Ganjal near Afghanistan-Pakistani border on that date, September 8, 2009. He's reported to have repeatedly entered that kill zone to rescue wounded American and Afghan soldiers, much like his members of the squadron, Dakota Meyer, who was awarded the Medal of Honor earlier in 2011. Swinson became the first living officer to receive the Medal of Honor since the Vietnam War. And there's tons of history that you can go and you can see, and you can see the Hall of Heroes where he's inducted into the Hall of Heroes, getting the Medal of Honor presentation. And I have like goosebumps like from my neck to my ankles right now.
I'm telling you, like like, hold on, I gotta use the restroom real quick. Like, wow.
This is good stuff, guys. And we're going to have a running list of these tallied up, and you guys can go pick your own guy and research him up, and maybe start something in your own family. I think with my own children, I'm 3rd generation Navy. And I don't think about that even with my own children. I have 6 children, and none of them have chosen to go into service. I have 4 that are adult and 2 still at home. And I don't think the younger 2 will probably serve either. But I don't tell, the stories. And I think as parents, instead of putting a lot of pressure on what they might learn and different things in the education system, I think it is a lot on us to help our children live in the memory of the stories and telling these stories of these servicemen of past who were war heroes and absolutely deserve their story to continue to be told. And like I say, each of these guys, as we tell them, he's going to keep that running list up for you guys so you can kind of keep reaching out. And I think it'd be really cool, especially some of these guys that are still living, to be able to get a chance to get them out on the water. We got to take a Purple Heart veteran out in October, Bradley Grutzner. He lives down near Victoria, and he is a wounded Army veteran, lost his arm, and he's hilarious about it. I met him last year, and I don't think I knew any other Bradleys anyway. But after the event, he texted me. He's like, "Hey Jen, this is One Arm Bradley," and I'm like, "This kid." It's like, you didn't have to tell me you were One Arm Bradley. I figured it was you. But those guys that we were getting to be affiliated with Warriors Weekend, every one of those guys are Purple Heart veterans. And if you don't know about that's April 6th is their next event, and they have a formal muster down here in Aransas Pass. Port O'Connor is where their tournament is in October. But the president of Warriors Weekend is going to be here on March 22nd at the kickoff for the Lone Star Kayak Series. We're going to be honoring him. And Sam Caldwell, who's a very famous illustrator, editor, CCA, Currents Magazine. And he's going to be coming down and doing some storytelling. So that would be a really cool thing to earmark or dog mark on your calendar.
Yes, I'm definitely got to keep me in tune with that, because that would be freaking awesome. Wow. That's gonna be pretty sweet. So,
Yep, yep, yep. Well, that's right in between us. That's April 6th. They're going to be right here in between us, honoring those Purple Heart veterans that live here in these days. So that's the thing is, we're right now we're recognizing these guys from all over. That event that
mm,
happens over there at Warriors Weekend is recognizing our local Purple Heart heroes. So it's pretty cool. I love those guys. Warriors Weekend, look them up. They're pretty cool. But we'll scoot. Do you have another thing to add on to Lieutenant Colonel Swinson before I move on?
just to say, holy smokes!
I know. I almost think we should have just picked one for each. I feel like I could talk about. I was like, I wanted to do it in sixes to pair up with I Got Your Six, and then
Well,
also there's so many of them.
well, put it this way. I mean, we've gone live for hours. Like two
Yeah,
and a half hours is what my phone will normally do. So I'm in no rush to move from one individual to the next, just to try to get it out there. But gee, man, and what's the real blessing here? I mean, and this is just talking from me, is to be able to know that these individuals are still here to where we can show some kind of gratitude and appreciation
yeah.
for the sacrifices that they have done for themselves, their troops, their country, and it that I mean,
No amount of gratitude is ever enough. We couldn't do enough while
it
they're still
is
breathing.
hands down. I mean, serving our time and stuff like that is nothing comparison to what these guys went through, and it's impossible to imagine unless you've been there to see what they've
Yep.
gone through, going through to this day. Because I know we can put them up there and stuff like that, and we know they are still fighting some kind of battle. So,
Yeah.
for me, I would just love to just get them out there and go fishing, and just really, really get it going. And it is it's something else to um, um, hold on, real quick. Okay. Sorry, I was checking on something
How you
right
doing?
here.
Well, none of these guys are ever gonna be the same. No matter how much health and wellness, healing, mental healing, physical healing, there's parts of anyone who goes through any of these situations that these guys have been in. I don't think that probably ever goes away, and I think that it's beautiful that so many places in the outdoors, not just fishing, but there's so many outdoor things that recognize that mental health healing and create space for veterans and especially wounded veterans of battle to be able to just come and free of charge and free of their mind to be able to just go and enjoy the day and not have to worry about anything for a minute. And it's not much, but it's something.
Yes, yes, that just and you know what, for the regular people that have you know, gotten into fishing and changed their lives, this could be just the moment that he might need to just, you
Yeah.
know, forget
Yep.
about it for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I am
Well,
always
we
about
both
it.
believe in those divine encounters, and I believe whenever you're in that situation to take that one man out, or a group of them, or whatever it is, I think that
Right.
we're where we're supposed to be.
Right.
All right,
Real, real,
yeah,
real quick.
you
Hey,
ready?
Daniel, you're fired, man. Jacked Up Leatherworks, his son likes to come on the channel and likes to fire everybody, especially me. So normally it's between me and him. But we got Brandon. What's up, man? How you doing? Tristan, Toby, Florentino. Let's see, Robert. How you doing, guys? Hope everything's going good. We do have a small special announcement here in a bit, but we got to wait for him to respond to make sure he's good to go, and we'll see it. We'll see how long it takes for it to pop up, but it's coming. So, all right, on to the next one. I
On
mean,
to the next one. No, I'm not fortunate.
real quick before we go. I mean,
Yes.
so this individual is coming to this event. If I heard that correctly, right?
So Ron Cochin is the president of Warriors Weekend, and he
Mm-hmm.
is going to be coming to share about what they do with Warriors Weekend. I don't know which Purple Heart veterans we'll have here. We'll have some local Purple Heart veterans and local heroes that will be here. That's on March 22nd. We just released that flyer yesterday, I think, for the Lone Star Kayak Series kickoff. It'll be right here, Charlotte Plumbers. right next door to us and in the white tent. We'll have the captain's meeting there that Friday night with Sam Caldwell as our guest speaker, storytelling. And then we'll be celebrating what Warriors Weekend does for our local heroes. And they have their own little fundraiser going on there. And then we'll have the event the next day with the Lone Star Kayak Series. And if anyone wants to fish that, any of your followers want to fish that, and they're not kayakers, we have several kayakers that want to come in to town. They're traveling and they can't haul in their kayak. They'll swing by and get a rental. You don't have to be a kayak owner to fish a kayak tournament. We've got plenty available. So we have a special deal. If someone's fishing the tournament, they can come by and pick up a half price rental from us, and they get their practice day free. So they wouldn't have to pay for their day of practice, and then they would be able to go out there. So we want to be able to get as many people on the water for that event as we can. It's the 11th annual Lone Star Kayak Series, and our first veteran organization that we're honoring is the Warriors Weekend. They're a local organization. You know, they started in Victoria 16 years ago or 18 years ago. And I've got, next time you come to my shop, I have a bunch of these. Grab one. It tells all of their history, so you'll have that. But they're an incredible group of guys, and most of their Purple Heart recipients are struggling with severe PTSD. You know, not just a little bit of don't want to talk about it, but a whole lot of don't want to talk about it. So it's a great program to check out. And it's warriorsweekend.org if you guys want to go further investigate those guys. Warriorsweekend.org. And April 6th is their next own event right here in Aransas County. So our next one, and this, if you guys have never seen a Purple Heart, this is a Purple Heart was given for military merit, and we're going to, explore the story behind this one. And this gentleman is Thomas R. Norris. He earned his Purple Heart as well as his National Medal of Honor above and beyond the call of duty. Earned that October 13th, April 1972. He fought in the Vietnam War. And let's get to his story right here. Here we go. He is a retired U.S. Navy SEAL. And the thing about him is he's 80 years old and he is still living, and I want to meet him so badly. And so he is born of Jacksonville, Florida. He did serve in the U.S. Navy from 1967 to 1975, where he earned rank of lieutenant, served in SEAL Team 2. And I don't know if you remember me telling you my story, but I was attached to the helicopter squadron that did support for SEAL Team 2. And when I got to fire my first shooting other than a camera, that was the unit that I was out with. And so, the likelihood of us crossing paths in our time of service is actually pretty high, possibly. So I'm excited for the opportunity to try to meet him. And even as a young man, he earned Eagle Scout. And I don't know if you're familiar with what that entails, but it requires a lot of dedication to be able to earn the rank of Eagle Scout as a youth. And he did that. Graduated from high school in Maryland, went to the University of Maryland, and he was going to pursue criminology career with the FBI. And then he went ahead and earned his bachelor's in sociology and criminology. So he had a really unique educational background.
Yeah.
And then taking that into becoming a Navy SEAL. So, he's got a really, really cool story. He enlisted in the Navy as a student. So he was on deferment from the draft, wasn't extended, and he had hoped to join the Navy and fly jets, but had some eye problems with his visualness. So and I don't know if it's the same way, but 30 years ago, if you had eye issues, you weren't flying nothing. So
Yeah, no joke. Wow.
now if corrective surgery is a thing and fix that. But he eventually became a Navy SEAL. He struggled during BUDS training. They'd considered removing him, and he's truly one of those guys that just meets the never give up. One of the biggest articles that you can find about his ground rescue operations is called "The Rescue of Bat 21 Bravo." You guys can look that article up by just typing that in. And at this time, and it's kind of cool because when you're in the military, the officers hang with the officers and the petty officers and airmen, seamen, different divisions of the younger ranks, they kind of like stay together. But when you read these stories during the wartime, it's not uncommon to see the lieutenant and the second class, or things like that, or a third class who's very low ranking military enlisted personnel. So I really like when I look at these stories, I see a really high ranking person and he's sitting there running right next to somebody. Because you think about it in our world, set the military aside, just in our world, right? You're the new guy. You just got here. I've been here for 10 years. Like, who do you think you are? What do you think you're doing? That wasn't the feel in wartime. It was like, almost more of a, this guy is young. He's got a lot of life ahead of him. I've got a lot of responsibility on me to make sure that he makes it there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right. Yep.
and that's how we should feel here with each other. Like you say, you help anyone out, no matter their level, right?
Yeah.
Same thing, but this is really life-saving stuff going on here. We do life-saving stuff too, for sure, but this is some real life-saving stuff going on here. But on this ground rescue operation, April 1972, he was one of the few remaining SEALs in Vietnam serving with MACV-SOG, and this was the Da Nang Naval Advisory Detachment with Lieutenant Colonel Hamilton from the U.S. Air Force. There was a EV-60X destroyer. There was an electronics warfare officer, and they were shot down behind enemy lines. An aerial combat search and rescue was launched. It failed. There were loss of additional 5 aircraft, a death of 11 more airmen. 2 were captured. 3 were down needing rescue. So it was just like a mounting disaster at this time. And this is when Norris, who's the officer we're speaking of now, he was tasked with mounting the ground operation to recover these individuals that were left. Hamilton, Lieutenant Mark Clark, and Lieutenant Bruce Walker from behind the enemy lines. And they were assisted by the Vietnamese Sea Commando Forces. He and the Republic of the Vietnam Navy, which is a very low-ranking petty officer, Win Von Keat. They went more than 2 kilometers, which is a little over a mile behind enemy lines, and they successfully rescued 2 of the downed American aviators. Walker was discovered and killed by the North Vietnamese Army, although Norris at first he didn't want to take the honor at first, but then he was recognized with the Medal of Honor in 1975, which, to be honored and say, you know what, I don't feel like I deserve the honor, but we both know that he deserved the honor. There's no doubt that he deserved that honor. He didn't feel like he deserved that honor. That's just crazy to me. But later after that, there was an intelligence gathering mission that he was a part of, and he was later earned the Navy Cross, and there's more details about that as the second highest military decoration. It's awarded to military who are Navy or Marine, distinguishing themselves for extraordinary heroism in combat with armed enemy forces, and he certainly earned that. So, understanding what each of these medals mean too, and to know that there's a deep level of respect that I have for anyone who has earned any of this hardware.
Yeah, no doubt. It is. I mean, you sit there and you hear what they've done, what they went through,
and that's just we're just
and
telling little snippets of it.
yeah. I mean, we were on the same thought process there, and we're talking so fast, and like, it's
we want to
amazing,
get it out there, and the right person's going to grab it. Someone's going to say, "Hey, I want to go look that guy up."
Yep.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look up this Navy SEAL and see what he was about. And I wonder, the Norris, his last name being Norris, was he kin to Chuck Norris? Is there some Chuck blood in there? Because this dude was a straight badass. And from the mental game down, and that's another reason why I would love to meet him at 80 years old and still living and going through all of that, and prior to that having the education. When you are thinking of someone going to FBI training and all of the mental head game that goes into a job like that, so he took that with him into SEAL training, and I think he would just be a very, very unique individual to get to spend some time talking to.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I'm at a loss of words. Like, I'm trying to piece this together.
I didn't show this one earlier, and I didn't mean to not show it. This is the one I didn't have with me last week. This was David McNerney. So he received the Medal of Honor. This is the one that's getting ready to go back to Crosby, Texas, and it's going to be on display at the VFW there. That is named after him. So I wanted to show that one before I forgot.
Yes, we are definitely going to go the distance with this one. I mean, because
your messenger, I sent you a link with every one of their current stories. So you can
Mhm.
share that or pin that somewhere if people want to go back and easily research these guys. Those are in your inbox, in your messenger inbox.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll share them to the community page here, or on my channel. So anybody that wants to go back through after the night and like get more of the story or of these individuals, like I said, I know, these guys aren't out there looking for fame or anything like that, but a simple letter of, hey, thank you for your service or what you have
Absolutely.
done just can really, really uplift somebody because, these guys are fighting battles every day, every second of the day. And it's amazing. That's why when I get the opportunity and I get to talk to a vet that has really, whether they've accomplished something crazy or not, just being able to talk to a vet and just talk to them. It's
Well, and
amazing.
having a
And then if I
daily,
can get
like,
them to go fishing, like it's
yeah.
amazing.
I think if we have a daily awareness of it, one of my product sponsors, Bill Batson with Batson Enterprises. I know you got to spend some time doing a really special, intimate interview with him at ICAST. I mean, at the Houston Fishing Show. But Bill, every Friday, he does something to honor the fallen every single Friday at noon on his page. I don't know if you knew that. And,
No, I
and
did not know that.
he encourages everyone to wear red on Fridays, and he's been doing this for years. And they do a bunch of giveaways, and they do that to be a constant, kind of be a constant awareness and a constant remembrance of what those have done that have fallen. And I love that. And they wear Red Friday at Batson, and that's what that's for. So you see a lot of that red stuff out there with Batson. That's exactly what that's about. And so, but anyway, Bill doing that makes me again feel more honored that the companies that I choose to do business with are typically, they are doing something to honor our veterans. And I think it's the dumb stuff that we think about every day. Like I was just thinking today about how many thousands of arguments are going on right now about forward-facing sonar in the bass fishing world. It's really dumb. It's like so dumb, super dumb. And
Hold
like
on,
I caught fish like, just the other day with no forward fishing sonar. But
hold on. Let me get into this conversation now. What?
but but for me, I'm like, what if there were thousands of arguments going on about which one of these guys was more honorable?
Oh
How
wow.
how can we how can we give that much energy to something as stupid as forward facing sonar? And we can't give that kind of energy to this. And
I
I probably made somebody mad, but I didn't mean to. But
I don't care. I
do you know
don't
what I'm
care.
saying, though? That's what I
No,
do. When I find myself in something petty, I look,
yep,
I've got these coins all over, and you know that I do because you've been to my office. And when I
yes,
find
yes.
myself feeling I'm in something petty, I'm like, there's somebody literally gave their life for me to sit here, and this is what I'm gonna do with my free time that was earned not by me. You got to do
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
We got
That
we got to do better. I
you know,
got to
we
do
we
better for sure.
we definitely. This is just a
And this
drop
is a
in the
sad one.
bucket.
The ones we've done so far are great stories of longevity of life. And that's not the story for every one of them. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
No,
save
this
him.
is
I'm gonna save him for last. Well, they're both of them. I'm a mom. My kids are in their 20s, late 20s. My oldest will be 29 um, this year, and which makes me super old. But I joined the Navy at 17, and a lot of these guys joined the military at a very young age, and I don't know that they knew the sacrifice they were signing up for. Because look at him. How handsome is he? How
mm,
happy does he look? Right? Just
that's and you nailed it right there. So many of us joined the military just to escape our lives here. Like that's why I did. Like I joined. Okay, three reasons why I joined. One, I fell in love with the commercial of the dude battling the dragon. And it was a chess
yeah,
piece.
I remember
That
that.
okay, so that I fell in love with that because I already loved playing chess. So I was like, man, if that's the way they think, that's what I want. And then I learned too that like they were one of the most difficult ones to get to. And for me, I was like, okay, challenge accepted. Like I have set goals that are goals. They are not easy to handle because if they were, then everybody would be doing them.
Yep.
And then 3, they said, well, if you want to see the world, coming from a very poor childhood upbringing, I was like, man, they're going to pay me to see the world and teach me how to fight and defend myself and do all of this.
And
Sign me
college money
up.
when you're done.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was one of the deals, but it really wasn't the reason why I went. I was like,
No,
okay,
just
well, it was like that was a cherry. I was like, okay, I got that. Okay, cool. So it was that, but yeah, it was
well,
it
they
was the
told
dragon
me
pulling out the
they
sword, and that was
well, me being 17, I didn't have a great home life and I was ready to get out of there. And they told me I could be a photographer. They said it was a job I could do in the Navy, and I was 3rd-generation Navy, and I wanted to be a photographer. I earned my first award at like 15 years old with photography. And so like, yeah, you can be a photographer. And I'm just glancing over here in the shop, and you've probably seen this, but this is me at 18. This is me at 18 years old with my first little camera in my dungarees. They called us pee babies when we first got these because we smelled like pee.
wow. Yeah, the brand new uniforms. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
they call us pee babies. But that
Yeah.
was me at 18 years old with my camera. And the next gentleman we're going to talk about was just 1 year older than me when he lost his life. So, the stories we've told before, you don't always feel the sadness when someone ends their life later in life the same, even though loss of life is terrible. But this is Specialist Ross A. McGinnis, and he is or was from Pennsylvania, joined the military and fought in the Iraq War and earned the Medal of Honor. And when he was just a kid, when he was in kindergarten, there's a little deal that they had. He had written on a piece of paper in kindergarten, and at the top of it, they print it, and then have the line that you fill in, and it said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And it says, "When I grow up, I want to be." And then in the line, he wrote, "An army man," and that was in kindergarten. And
Wow.
so, yeah. And so, growing up, he got involved in the Boy Scouts, athlete, mechanic, just your all around kid, just every mom's dream of a son, and as you saw in his coin, handsome young man and everything going for him. And he died in Baghdad. Um, wanted to be a soldier since kindergarten, and he joined the delayed entry program on his 17th birthday. And his 17th birthday is the day after my birthday. And so I was also in delayed entry program on my 17th birthday. I was in boot camp at 17. My parents had to sign the paper for me to go. I turned 18 in the military. I graduated a little bit early. And when I think of, again, when I'm reading some of these stories and seeing some of the similarities, I was blessed at it being at the end of wartime. I had a lot less risk to my life. And Specialist McGinnis knew at 17 years old he was signing up during the Iraqi war, you know, and
Yeah.
yeah. And so, born in 1987, and he left this world December 4th, 2006, fighting for our freedom in the Iraqi war. So he is buried at the Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. He is only one of 5 known U.S. service members who have thrown themselves onto a grenade to save a multitude of other lives. So it's not like he didn't see it coming. He just stood there and said, "I'm going to do this because I know it's going to save all of them." And
Wow.
yeah, and so he was the 4th recipient of the Medal of Honor throughout the course of the Iraqi War. He was the 4th one to receive that. The ceremony was held at the White House on June 2nd in 2008, presented by George Bush. And you can read more again about him. He received Combat Infantry Badge, Medal of Honor, Bronze Star, Purple Heart. I mean, at 19 years old. And so, ultimate sacrifice, for sure. I those, a lot of sadness with that one because mom lost her son, and likely when someone passes away at 80, their mom's probably not losing their son, but at 19, a lot of sadness there. And I'm sure even though, almost 20 years since his death, it's been 18 years since he passed. I'm sure there's probably still a lot of pain in the family's heart. So, we talk about the pain of those that are still here and living, but for those that go young, there's a lot of pain left behind in their family for sure. I know I'm a mama. My boys are 18 and 22 and 10. And I couldn't imagine getting that call on my 18 or my 22-year-old,
That is an understatement there. I mean, a parent myself, I've got my daughter who's 22, my son's 17, my other son's 15 and 14, and, and goes down the road. But
I know the
it, it,
train.
it,
We both
it
have a train.
yeah, it's just, it will never, it'll never get easier. That's for sure.
No, for sure. No.
And,
But what an honor to know that her son gave his life to save, the others just without an instant of hesitation. There couldn't have been an instant of hesitation.
no,
It's
not at
it's
all.
even like possibly we all die, or I'll just go ahead. It's inevitable that I'm gonna die. In my brain, I'm when I'm reading his story, it's inevitable I'm gonna die. We don't all have to die.
Yeah. I got my brother 6. 'Cause that's exactly what he was thinking.
For sure.
Yeah.
Incredible story.
Wow.
And then we're gonna end on a good one that an 80-year-old that is still with us. These I continue to find these incredible servicemen who went through great battles that are still here that we could actually have a chance to talk with. Um, so this is Robert Emmett O'Malley, U.S. Marine Corps veteran, Medal of Honor in Vietnam War. He received the medal for his actions as a corporal, which is a low-ranking enlisted for those of you that don't know, on August 18th, 1965, during Operation Starlight. He was born in New York and became a Marine as soon as he graduated from high school. Grew up with Lance Corporal Noonan, who would also later be awarded a Medal of Honor in Vietnam much later. The two attended school and church together, and then in battle, both earned a Medal of Honor in different circumstances. So I think, each of these guys have some really unique stories to them. In his military career, he completed recruit training at Paris Island and transferred to Camp Pendleton and served with the 5th Marine Regiment. He was promoted to private first class in less than a year. The following year, he arrived in Okinawa and was with the 3rd Battalion, 9th Marines, and then the 3rd Marine Division. And I'm saying these here because, someone may be watching this. It's like, I served then and there. It's certainly possible. Sometimes, that's how these paths get crossed again. And then in 1964, he received his first Good Conduct Medal at this time, just completing years of satisfactory service, but nothing of what was to come. Later, he was a squad leader, 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines, and he was sent to Vietnam in 1965. He arrived in Chile Marine Corps in May, and 3 months later, he had discovered that a Viet Cong regiment had moved down the mountain and was just outside of them. And this was on the same date of the battle that earned him his medal. This was part of Operation Starlight. This was a strike against the Viet Cong force, trying to get them before they get us, if you will. His battalion performed amphibious landing near the village of An Cong. If you don't know what amphibious landing is, means they went in, under, and through the water. Shortly after landing, they came under mortar and small arms fire, which are, you know, the bombs and things of that nature, as well as weapons. During the firefight, O'Malley attacked the Vietcong trench and helped to evacuate all of the wounded Marines there. Eventually, they were ordered to withdraw, and they were able to get out of there. He led his men to a helicopter extraction point. He was hit in every part of his body with mortar fragmentation. Despite his wounds, he refused to be evacuated. He stayed and provided suppressive fire with damage to his legs, arms, and chest from this, and made sure that every one of his Marines made it out of there. And he's still living today for us to talk to. This man is still living today for us to talk to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That
He was treated in Japan for his wounds, and he was promoted to sergeant. So he earned sergeant 4 years. He was returned to Camp Pendleton, where he stayed and left the Corps in 1966. He was flown on Air Force One to Austin, Texas, where he was awarded the Medal of Honor by Lyndon B. Johnson.
What's up, brother?
You bet. I know you just like dropping it.
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
It's like a random man.
Right. No, that and I have to sit here and I have to roll back a little bit. Right before you started with this individual here, man, it really sunk in what that young man did. You know, we're all just coming out of high school, and
That's
you
what I'm
know,
saying. Think about what our 19-year-olds are doing right now. Think about what our 19-year-olds are doing right now.
yeah, like trying to, you know, and back our generation was like out of high school, you're looking at getting a job, you're looking at starting a life, you're looking to see the world, you're looking to do, you have so many big plans in your life, you know, and all that.
And you're not
And
thinking of giving your life like that. To be
but
that
but
sacrificial at 19.
yeah, but at the drop of a dime, like you see something, these are your brothers to your right and your left, and you learn that, you know, without them, you are nothing. Without you, they are nothing. You know what I mean? You learn that these, yeah, and it's crazy because you fight amongst each other, but don't let nobody mess with us.
No.
We can fight all we want, but don't let somebody else come in and try and mess with us. And at the drop of a dime, without I mean, not even a second thought. I mean, his thought was like, I'm warning everybody before I do this.
Right.
That's
I think he had something like special in him at an early. Like, I think about if in kindergarten he wanted to be an army man. Did he replay that scenario 10,000 times in his head from age 5 till the day it happened?
Yeah. Wow.
Because when I read that story about how they had the piece of paper from his mother had kept that from when he was a child. And, you know, at that time, you know, at age 5, kids have crazy imaginations, right? And in the 80s, he would have had access to television to see something like that. And I just wondered, did he go at 17 when he signed the delayed entry papers, when he signed the delayed entry program, when he loaded up to go to basic training? Was he already thinking in his brain, I'm ready to jump on the grenade? Like, I think he was. I think he went there ready to jump on a grenade.
Yeah. That's without a doubt. Like, and not meaning like it was. Please understand us. It's not meaning like he was looking for an excuse.
No, like he
was
knew
prepared.
that was a possibility. He knew that was a possibility of sacrifice.
And he was utterly willing to do it to save his fellow brothers. And
because there's not a time to think of that decision. It's crazy.
Yeah. And again, guys, I'm kind of looking at y'all's comments, and I do want to thank all of y'all for sharing your stories of your family members and your stories of how they played parts in your lives and stuff like that, and or their passing. So our thoughts and prayers and condolences going out to you and your families as well, guys. I knew this was going to be a tough video for us to do, and it's going to be, this is just the start. I mean, we're going to be going through this, and we plan on doing this until we get through all them coins. Don't know when that's going to be, but she's got
Yeah.
it probably weighs 15, 20 pounds at least of all these coins that we're going to go through and sharing these stories, guys. So this is going to be something that is going to be on a
Well,
regular. We
and we can
maybe,
even right here. So I'm reading a couple of them. So Jacked Up Leatherworks, his uncle died on the USS Arizona.
Yep.
You know, we're so grateful for the life that we get to live here for those that gave their life for us. But you know, going back and reading these stories, I'm feeling that. And you know, maybe we're going to start a whole new chapter of healing that we didn't even know we were going to start. We thought we were just sharing these stories, but look at the stories we generated. You know, we talked about how important storytelling is. And I'm
Yes,
looking
yes.
over here at the stories that are being told, and I love that, man. That's really, really good stuff. And we
And
appreciate you
and
guys
and
for tuning in tonight.
and most definitely, you know, Brandon nailed it right there. You know, our time we were looking at learning trigger control, and now they're looking at trigger words. Like, I mean, look at the generation where it's going, guys. We are
Well, that's because
really,
these stories, I don't know if they stop being told or if they're not being told to the right places, or you know, there's just not a high enough regard for what those that did before us. Like, you know, if you had a group of kids between the age of 15 and 21 years old, a group of young men, specifically, and I don't mind talking gender specific at all. You know, I don't know too many of those young men who would say, "Yeah, I'll jump on a grenade for this group of people standing here."
yep,
But I don't.
without a doubt, there is. It is it is a fine line that distinguishes those types of people and what is
Absolutely.
coming out today. And right now, with just on the channel, I can see the differences of levels of the guys that are commenting in here and participating with our channel, and a lot of it are the blue ranchers. And this goes to show you that, you know, the reason why these guys are in those positions is because they have a lot of respect that they have earned. It wasn't given, it wasn't forced, it wasn't asked for. They earned it.
Exactly,
And
Brandon.
and and, and,
Yeah.
and for all of us to come together and like I said, I ain't even had to say a word to any of them on there, and they are taking care of the channel. They are making sure everything's going good to go, and you know, for me, like I said, these guys, I'm very humbled. I'm very humbled, and it's because of all those other guys that we're talking about that I choose to live the life that I live, is to make sure that they didn't do what they did for nothing.
Yeah, we don't want the remembrance of Specialist Ross McGinnis, who was willing to jump on a grenade for his team to end up in you know, somebody, you know, hijacking somebody's page to talk about some nonsense and, you know, create separation or division. Like, why would that's not why he jumped on that grenade. And I think for my own self to be humbled when I know that my mind's not in the right place, you know, I don't make all the right choices all the time. And I think if we can constantly humble ourselves, everybody has their thing. You know, I was in Bible study yesterday and we were talking about Mary and Martha. One of them was serving Jesus and the other was cleaning, right? Like it's two completely different things, but they were both in service. And I think you know, sometimes it's our job to clean up in the background, but sometimes it's our job to just sit and be present with someone. And I think that when we do that and we be present with each other in remembrance of someone who has given the ultimate sacrifice or was ready to, I mean, even those that are still living, you know, they still gave a great piece of their mind for sure.
Yep, yep. And this is the ultimate deal, guys. Like with the channel, it is a very family orientated channel, guys. Like yes, we crack jokes, we poke at each other, but it's respectful. So watch what you say on here, guys, because we do have guys that don't have a lot of room for that. I mean, yeah, we horseplay, but be respectful. Know that when we're in here, we are definitely in tune with listening to what's going on and hearing and reading. There's a lot of guys out there that have um, gone through the do, like they have done their time, they have seen it, they have lived it, or have had family go through it, And so these stories, I believe, are just like Jen, are instrumental at ensuring that they get told and told and told again, because it really gives to light that the life that we should all be living, that we should not be taking it for granted. We should not be living
Mm-mm.
in our feelings. We need to be out there, be proactive, be life, good life, and be
What have
lifting
the
up,
mentality
up
of
our fellow
that thought
brothers. Yeah.
process? Someone just jumped on a grenade for me. I've got something to be thankful for. You
Yes.
know, taking what he did then as a reminder, someone it is possibly every single day, whether they're in active duty and serving, or they're here struggling and they're part of the 22. Every
Yeah.
single day we're losing them.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot more going on in this world that we need to focus our eyes on, over keyboard warrioring.
Yeah. No doubt. This is, hold on. Um, it is. It's definitely a changing world. I mean, from the way we grew up as kids, and we were expected, and we were taught, and we were learned or didn't learn. Like, we had to learn our own on our own. That was the difference between us. Like, we hit the ground ready to run. You know what I mean? And a lot of
Well,
that,
the GI Joe was
again, is
our
being
toy.
forgotten.
You
Hmm?
think about even the toys that kids play with or whatever. GI Joe is what you did when you were a dude. You played with GI Joe, and I obviously played with GI Joes also. But there were a couple of Barbies maybe, but for sure GI Joe. But we grew up in a generation where there was a lot of respect for our veterans and our war heroes and our current serving, and I just don't see that anymore. And I don't know why. I don't know where the disconnect is. But I'm going to do my best to take the calling of what God put in front of me with this box of coins, and I think it's going to take us, half a year to get through them. But I'm ready.
Uh, I'm game for it, Jen. And Jen Nolan, I definitely want to thank you and your husband for the sacrifice of your time, because this is something that is definitely like it. You really don't have to be here to do this. You really don't have to sit here and pay with your time, which is, again, is just our small way of saying thank you to these individuals in a big way. I mean, it really is something special, and I truly am blessed that we got this going. And
Yeah.
um, I know a lot of guys on here are going to be looking forward to the next ones, because these are tremendous. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm still in my feels about the young man over here, because my
Well, and,
son's
and you
about
can
to
read
be.
his story. Yeah, his in the links that I sent you, they're each individual story is separate. So you can read some of his story there and research, more, the younger they are, the more the heartstring it pulls when we
Yeah.
lose them like that. And yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So I don't know if you got to go or not, but I do have to use the restroom. But I do want to thank you again for sure.
No,
I'm not
you're
cutting it
good.
off. I'm gonna go use the restroom. But I don't know if you got to cut and run, which is fine, because I can continue on with the guys here. I got some things that I probably
You
want to talk
you
with them about and
if
stuff
you
like that.
continue
So
on with the guys, can I drop a direction for them to come find our fundraiser that we have in our kayak series? I'll
share
do
all you
that.
want. I'm gonna use the restroom. Yeah,
All
yeah. Go
right.
ahead.
So, if you guys didn't pick it up at the times, I've dropped it. Jen Nolan Fishing. You can find Jen Nolan, just the main page, Jen Nolan on Facebook. Find me on TikTok, Jen Nolan Fishing. But we have a huge fundraiser going on right now. We are going to be drawing in just a few days on Sunday. We're going to be giving away a Viking kayak. We're going to be giving away a bunch of really awesome fishing gear. So we'll just walk around the shop real quick. So this is the Viking Esprit. This is up for grabs. All you got to do is purchase some tickets to support our outreach and our programs and what we have going on. And you'll be in the drawing for that, as well as some other awesome gear. We've got a Revo Beast Reel right here. We've got hella hard life swag, lots of leaders, exotic hat. We've got a kayak angler crate. We've got a big ugly stick. This is a great surf one too. If you're down with the ugly stick, we've got a Team Ring Shadow swag bag and hat. We've got a Railblazer bag with some Railblazer swag that'll come off of that kit right over there. And then we've got one other, if you like to inshore fish or bait fish. This is a custom series. And because we're honoring our veterans, Made in the USA matters to us. This is a blackfin rods made in the USA. You saw this in person here in the shop. Comes with a 4000 series reel. That's just several of the things we have up for grabs. And then we have a guided full day trip with Josh McNaughton. Josh McNaughton is the holder of all of these trophies. So you could win a guided trip with Josh. You could win a kayak trip with me, or you could win a kayak rental, and you can choose from the Blue Sky or any one of our boats. So that's what we have. And all you got to do is jump over onto our page and you can see that fundraiser and see how to enter it. And you can enter right online from wherever you're at. And we'll be drawing on Shark Radio. We're going to draw Shark Radio Sunday at 7 p.m. We're going to be live with those guys when we draw our winners.
Well, there you go. There you go, guys.
There you
So again, Jen Nolan with Champion Outdoors. If y'all are in Rockport, be sure to stop by, check them out.
Yep.
Again, we got our tackle there. They go to other tackle there. They got a lot of hard-earned knowledge, guys. So again, too, you know, vets supporting vets. So hands down. So thank you again for your time, Jen.
All right.
Tell
I
Dr.
appreciate you guys so much.
Yep. You have a blessed one. All right. All right, guys. So we are here. I am about to open an orange and see what the deal is on this. But yeah, that was wow. That was very, very humbling to hear them stories and, you know, finally kick this ball off. You know, that was pretty intense, guys. I do have to admit, like when I heard about that young man there, it really did hit me in the feels, and I'm pretty sure y'all caught on to that. And it's amazing, you know, we've all have stood in that possibility of that world when you join the military and stuff like that. And, you know, to be able to do a small part and share, you know, to make sure that they're not forgotten. You know, they may be gone, but they're not forgotten. So definitely awesome. And again, too, congratulations to Brandon. This was a long time coming, boss. And, you know, a lot of the Blue Ranchers, they voted on this, and we got it going. We were just waiting for you to comment. And then, you know, when you commented, I got it going. And then they were trying to get you to come back on and comment. How many? Okay, I didn't see how many comments it took. How many comments did he get on there before he finally noticed what his color change was, or did somebody put it out? Hey, I saw it, and I'm glad y'all did it. Especially when he made the comment about Jen, that I did not appreciate that. That's why I kind of commented on there, you know, to be respectful and stuff like that. I think he was, yeah, not cool. So, but what's up, Amy? How you doing? It was a few for sure. Yeah, no, but yeah, welcome to the crew, Brandon. Appreciate you and your family. Again, I know y'all came down for your honeymoon and stuff like that, so it was definitely time for us to grow. I know with the amount of guys that we're getting up to with our subscriber base, there's going to be more room for more Blue Ranchers and stuff like that to be coming in. So you never know when it's going to hit, guys. You just got to be on the right track, and it'll come to you. Good things come to those who wait, for sure. So. What's crazy though, I got my teeth fixed with the braces, but I still can't I can't cut in the front like I used to. So yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm reading that, and yeah, everybody needed a Momo's house for sure. Mm-hmm. Edgar did call it. Yes, sir. That he did. Is Edgar on tonight? I haven't really been able to pay attention because I was still, even though she was on there, I was still focused on her eyes and stuff like that because, you know, even, that was the way I was brought up. When you talk to somebody, you look at them in their eyes and stuff. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Any tips on getting a hammer? Go to my toolbox, or are you talking about a shark hammer? I know you're talking about hammering. Don't get me wrong. I was just kidding. I've actually caught a lot of my hammers using small baits, small long pieces of cow-nose stingray and southern stingray. I've actually caught quite a bit of my hammerhead sharks of doing that. Most of them in the 8 and 9 foot range. And I mean, I'm talking the sliver probably this thick and maybe, you know, nice, long and skinny like that. Just bombing it as far out as I could. And I've caught quite a bit of hammers doing that. So. Mm. Oh, okay. Yep. So you're telling me you saw the hammer when it was flying at you? No. Damn it. So you're going for a king mackerel or Spanish mackerel? Or Cyril mackerel? There's another one. Yep, yep. Right? No, she's definitely gonna be got the military sense of humor, that's for sure. So we can definitely be on it. I don't know about tomorrow, guys. Jeff actually won't be here, so I'll be here manning the shop. I won't be able to run out there like I normally like to. So we'll see what's going to go on there. Wow. Well, here in Texas, we're not allowed to use shark for bait. I know you're not here, but yeah, shark will eat shark in a heartbeat. That's for sure. Trying to eat it without eating the seeds, but they're there for sure. Yeah, he's all right. He just needs a day or two to recoup. That is the crazy one, but they are actually. We got a great white over here just off the coast of our waters here in Texas, and they're talking like a couple of 100 yards off the beach. Oh man, mine was aviation ordnance. I built bombs and gun systems, or I built bombs and or worked on gun systems for sure. So okay, well, I guess I can write your name on the ticket since you're already buying right now. Wait a second. All right, all right, Hyman. I got you, boss. Yeah, that was pretty intense, guys. Like I said, um, Actually, the picture I saw, it was like the second sandbar, not the third. Where did I see the picture at? Hold on. I don't know if the one that was sent to me was the right one or whatever, but let's see. Hold on. Actually, I think it was on this one. Give me a second, real quick. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's the second sandbar. You can see it right there. Well, I like, to tell you the truth, when I'm throwing my MXL Raptors, I like 9-footers and 10-footers. I don't go any longer than that unless I'm specifically fishing on the beach looking for distance, and then I am using the um, breakaway rod that I have that it's 14.3, and actually that's the one I've been using to throw the 8-ounce weight and getting over 200 yards on cast. So, yep. Robert's a new guy, came in, wanted to be a blue rancher, and I explained that you have to earn that position. It's not just given away. And he just, I don't know, he kept acting out, looking for attention and stuff like that, and it was just it annoyed us all. And then some of the comments he was making were being rude. So, yep, he was gone for, I don't know how long he's gone for now. I haven't seen the last one, but more than likely, yeah. Hopefully he comes back with a better attitude, but we never know. These guys may still be stuck living in their feelings and stuff like that. So, um, yeah. Let's see. Well, actually, that's actually light for me. Normally, I throw 10 and 12s plus bait when I was casting off of Bob Hall Pier. And the reason I was doing that was because I was casting into the wind and I wanted to make sure I could penetrate into the wind. So by throwing a heavier weight, once I got it moving, it meant that my bait was going to go where I wanted to go. I'm a Bob Hall Pier fisherman. I learned how to cast into 30-mile-per-hour winds and still getting 80 to 100 yards on cast with that and bait. And so after learning, doing, shoot, I would easily cast 3 to 4, maybe 500 times a weekend, depending on how many fish we were catching or how many times we checked our bait. And so I got used to throwing 10-foot rods, bait and weight, 10 ounces, 12 ounces into the wind as hard as we can go. And so now it's, me dropping down to an 8-ounce is super easy. Going even lighter than that, it's even easier. So I got up with the guys with distance casting, and it really did go the distance. I want to say I've got a picture. Let's see, hold on, real quick. Give me a second. I know I can find it if I can get out of this thing. I don't know. Why is it doing that? Okay, noon. Trying to get into Facebook and it's stuck in like messenger mode. I can't go back into it. What is going on here? I don't know. Let me check this phone. Hold on. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm looking for something real quick. Actually, there it is. There's one. That's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the scoreboard where they took down the measurements of the distance casting when we were out there. And this one, I did borrow somebody else's rod and reel to do the cast. And they went out there and certified the cast as they did everybody else's and stuff like that too. So give me a second. I know it's in here somewhere. And all right, so right here you can see it says 8 ounce, and then here at the bottom, well, you can't see because there it goes. There at the bottom, the 645 feet, and you can see my name right there. So that was with an 8 ounce weight casting somebody else's rod and reel. But now I'm starting to throw my own rod and reel to where I don't have to worry about it. And I'm sorry, man. I just feel like something keeps messing with my ear. And I'm always cleaning my ears. Like my ears are like really, really clean. But I don't know. I guess it may be my whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. Don't know on that one. So. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. All right. So Team Hard Life actually came off of a saying. We were out on Bob Hall Pier, and it was something that another fisherman, Mr. Hunter, that was his nickname, was Hunter. We were out there, and he was a guy that got into fishing with us out on the pier and stuff like that. Very easy going. The boy got jokes, and so he got into fishing, and man, he really got into fishing. And every so often he would just say, "Man, this is a hard life. Man, this is a hard life." Like we're out there fishing, great conditions, bad conditions, horrible conditions, and it was just a saying. He started out on the pier. Well, after a while, I was selling my fishing tackle, and so I had a different kind of logo and stuff like that, and I was trying to figure out how can I sell more of my tackle while I was out there. So a lot of the guys, when I started doing that, I started selling my shirts, like promoting my fishing tackle. So a lot of the guys started wearing them, and then the the people that would come up and were like, "Oh, y'all part of a fishing team?" Or like, "No, we're just supporting his tackle and this and that." And then they would just kind of lose interest, and like they were trying to help me promote to help me sell more tackle. Well, after about like the 20th person, I was like, you know what, man? I said maybe I just need to create a team name and get a few of the guys on there. And so I sat there and I thought about it and I thought about it. Hold on, real quick. Hard Life. Hello. Okay, so, and I was like, you know what, man? I really like that name because if you sit there and think about it, how hard it is for us to catch a good weekend of weather and this and that, or fish and learn what we learn. And um, yep, Curtis nailed it. Curtis nailed it right there. Yep. So with that being said, I called him up and I was like, man, I said I'd like to create a name and I'd like to use it as Team Hard Life. I said, would it be okay with you? Because it was his saying. I didn't want people to get upset. He was the one who started it. You know what I mean? I had a different thought process and I explained it to him and he's like, dude, that would be awesome. Like I had already earned his respect through all the fishing I'd already done and stuff like that. And so, yeah, no, he was there. And it's funny because he was there when I caught my 12'3" tiger. He was the individual by the tail helping us out. So, Mr. He's good people, man. So, that's where the name came from. So that's for sure. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I was saying Curtis, but it wasn't him this time. It wasn't him this time. So yeah. No, no worries. All right. So the newer internationals all have more line capacity. That is what is being said, but I think we have already proven that wrong. Um, because I want to say we got a couple of the newer internationals. I think it was a 50 and an 80, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we didn't get the line capacities that they said that they got on there. So, and I think I tried a few times, and no, it wasn't. Yeah. But I've got videos, so I could be wrong. My memory could be a little off. It has been a long day, but I know we've already done that and stuff like that. So yeah. Um, uh, Yep. No, no doubt, no doubt. So I am definitely waiting on. Yeah, yeah, we could do that. You know, give him a little shout out for that and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, no, it was pretty cool. You know. Yes, sir. Yeah, you spelled it wrong, John. Yeah. Hmm. No, definitely getting through. Yep. No doubt, no doubt. I mean, I've had a hard life all my life, and you know I don't really back down from battles, guys. It's not in me anymore. That's why, for one, I don't like bullies. Just because in the neighborhood I grew up in, you know, they did have a lot of gang activity. I did get along a lot with a lot of the different gang members and stuff like that. But again, too, yeah, no, uh, I didn't like bullies. Yep. So there you go. Yep, yep. So yeah. Uh, yeah, no, by all means, Robert. That's fine. Um, just saying, sup, Paula, how you doing? Just saying, yeah. No, today was an epic storytelling Thursday. Um, I'm telling you, man, that hearing about that young man and jumping on the grenade did put me in my feels there for a minute. Uh, it's amazing, you know. You're right. A lot of you are talking about it. How uh, it's different, you know. Everybody's mind or everybody's way of thinking now is totally different than what it used to be. So definitely got to keep it rolling. Um, yeah, no, Paula, I'm gonna be getting out on the beach. We're gonna be getting out there. I just got to get my truck fixed for sure. It's a little harder to get out there and feel confident and rolling out there if you don't have 4x4, especially trying to uh, uh, trying to work on different things and stuff like that too. Give me just a second. This might be for life. Hard life. Yes, sir. Yeah. Give me just a second. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready when you are, boss. Okay. No, I just need the number, the card number. 2 digit month and year. 3 digit security code. billing zip code? Okay, what was the street number again? Okay, no, I don't need the name, I just needed the number. So you said 1107? Okay. All right. All right, it went through, boss. So, the count. Okay. Okay. Text me the size of the reel and all of that, because right now you're throwing numbers at it, and it's at the end of the day, bro. Okay, that'll work. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, no worries. No worries. I already done pulled it. So, all right, later. All right. There we go. So, put this on the charger. So, For Life has just got himself an underwater camera, so that way we can get that. And Brandon, actually, I'm going to post the names of the soldiers. We shared multiple names um, that we went through and talked about today. So, as soon as I get that info, I will post it up on the community page, guys. So that way, if y'all want to follow through, y'all can do that. And or maybe I should post it on the video and the information. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll post it on the video, so that way, if you're watching the video, you can immediately go into the comments and check it out and stuff like that. So yeah, but no, it was pretty awesome. I was. Yeah, no, I mean, I played sports too and did all of that. So, um, let's see what this guy wants. Hold on. Hard life. Oh, I have no idea. I think if you're putting time out, you're not allowed to comment. But you got to realize if you make rude comments like that, they will block you. You know what I mean? So you got to understand there's time for jokes, but when there's time when we're talking about serious stuff like we were, it's not a good time to play jokes. Okay. Okay, boss. Well, you have a good night. All right. All right. So Robert is a young kid. He sounds like he's 10 or 12 years old. So we're gonna have to. He's gonna learn. He's gonna learn. You know what I mean? So let's try and. Uh, let's try and school him, and hopefully, he's wanting to be on a good channel, which is good, guys. So let's try to be some good stewards with it. Um, I hadn't really gotten to talk to him, in his regular voice and stuff like that. So we'll see. But yeah, yeah. But what's up, Bassett? How you doing? Um, yes, he did. He did apologize, and and y'all heard me what I told him. That goes for everybody, guys. Especially when we're talking about stuff like that. That's not really a time to be joking and stuff like that. And um, we are definitely, we got. There's time to be respectful, and then there's time to play. So it's definitely cool when we're able to play. And yeah, yeah. He's young, so but he won't get too many passes. He's gonna have to learn fast and quick because um, we are, we definitely we let them slide too much, they end up taking a mile. You know what I mean? And we definitely don't have time for all of that and stuff like that. But again, I'm excited to see how. Right? I don't know. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand what you meant there, John. True that. That's a very big down one right there. You know, most kids can't even own up to them messing up or anything like that. So, well, yes, he got kicked off because we didn't know what we were dealing with, and now we know. So, you know, hopefully this will be the last time, and hopefully he won't make the same mistake twice because next time he does get kicked off, it's gonna be for a lot longer. You know what I mean? And we don't have time for this, guys. We have time for jokes and stuff like that, but this is it. Yep. So, did you catch anything? Yeah. Oh, okay. So, Act of Valor. That's a fantastic movie. I don't know if it was in regards to what he did, but I mean, if they did that, that's really more because um, he was a lot older. That oh, hold on. What was that? I don't know. I think my wow, that was weird. So no, my my phone kicked me off there for a second, and it actually started like my time on live is now 16 seconds when I know it's been on for how long we've been on? uh, 105 minutes. Yeah, that's weird. So yeah, I think I just saw where it's froze there on my computer now. So um, damn it. Yep. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to look into that, but I think the like I said, the act of valor, that one was it was an older gentleman, but yeah, same, pretty much the same thing. You know, he jumped. They were in a close in that room where a grenade fell or was tossed, and he jumped on it, saving all of his guys there. And yeah, that was pretty crazy. So yes, she is running a raffle. She did share her information there, guys. So if y'all want to go ahead and get into it, definitely show another veteran some support as well too. So no, I've not watched the Halo series. I was looking at doing it, but I don't know if I want to because they show Master Chief's face, or is that Master Chief in there? So I don't know. My son is, yeah, he's he's a very Halo enthusiastic individual. So yeah. Um, yes. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. Now it's a very cool storyline for sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. Um, all right, Laguna, you have a good night, boss. So, yeah. Well, oh man, yeah. No, what time is it? What time is it? Almost 10 o'clock. Yep. And I guess we can call it a night here. Be ready for tomorrow, guys. We've got the fire drawing for tomorrow. It's $20 buy-in, as you saw. Um, Jaime already bought the first ticket for tomorrow. Um, Oh man. Yeah, no, man, y'all are gonna make me want to see it. Like I saw what was it, the Fall of Reach or something like that. So I think that's the one I just saw. I didn't see the full deal and stuff like that. But again, guys, our 25,000 subscriber mark giveaway is coming, guys. We're at 24 or almost 24,000 subscribers. Let me check up TubeBuddy real quick, find out where we're at. And guess it's on this one. Let's see. Okay, the drop net for shark fishing or for like bull reds? Hmm. 23,000. So we're coming up on 24,000 subscribers. So it's starting to pick up momentum. We've gotten almost 800 subscribers in the last like 40 days or so. So if we keep that kind of momentum, we should be at 25,000 within the next couple months, if that. And again, guys, like actually in a month and a half. So y'all are running out of time. And again, once it hits 25,000 subscribers, it's cut off. Like you cannot enter it afterwards. It's not going to be like our drawing here. Once I hit 25,000, the time is going to be there, and whatever time thereafter, nothing's going to count. So if y'all are trying to get in the giveaway, y'all have to share video links of Team Hard Life YouTube channel or the link of the channel itself, and also Jacked Up Leatherworks to double up. So again, too, if y'all haven't subscribed to Jacked Up Leatherworks, I highly recommend y'all going over there. We're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers to help him get monetized, guys. Like Jacob does a lot for our channel and a lot within all the communities that he's involved in and stuff like that. And yes, it is very, very, very great channel. You know, very, very home orientated and stuff like that. So, oh, and he's gonna drop a video. Oh, yep. So, again, guys, Jacked Up Leatherworks here on YouTube, and then Team Hard Life. What you'll do is every time you share the video link or whatever to whatever social media platform you're involved in, make sure to take a screenshot, because each screenshot will give me a different time period of when you're doing it. So that way, when I'm going through, there's several things I'm looking for: is the time, what video, and so that way we don't have duplicates. Now you can share the same video to multiple platforms, because by the time you do that, the time will change. It'll show different types of minutes. So yes, we can definitely show you how many or how to splice the hollow core braid for sure. It's very, once you get used to it, it's very easy, and you'll be like, wow. So no worries on that, guys. But again, guys, thank you very much. And again, I got your 6 storytelling Thursday, which was very, very humbling. Like, wow, I am. Thank the man upstairs that we're still here today, but we also got to thank for those guys that have paid the ultimate sacrifice and or lived to tell the tale. You know, they would walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but they did not fear no evil for sure. So again, guys, y'all have a blessed night. We will talk to y'all later, and we'll see. So see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Yes, back. They are back.